Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should see me now, right?
Yes. Yeah, it says you're live.
Okay, let's hang on to that for a minute. I gotta send him this code so that he can get in. All right, we are live. Okay. Let's give a chance for everybody to get back in here. Emily Harris died. All right, everybody. What happened? There we go. All right, Kevin, I sent you the code. All you have to do is go up to your browser, copy and paste that into your browser, and it'll bring you right in here. Meanwhile, we'll wait a few minutes to let everybody go ahead and get back in here. Hi, Charlie. Let me go back and see what you said to me earlier, Charlie. I didn't mean to not answer you. Let me go see what you said while we're waiting. Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Just go ahead and wait a second. Let's give everybody a chance to get back in here and get ready to listen and all that stuff. Did you catch Charlie's comment for me? In the background, there's a couple team members here with me. Just so you know, if you hear me talking to somebody, it's just team members from Jackie Cares. Okay. Hold on, Charlie. One of the team members is going to pull it up for me so I could answer it. I didn't want to. Come on in, everybody. Share the live out. Share the live out. We'll give a couple minutes for everybody to get back in here so that everybody's in here that wants to know what's happening. Don't say Charles.
That's all. He asked the question.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was like a paragraph. right. So while I have you on here right now, let's just go over the rules that I wanted to go over with you earlier. You can't
Okay.
cuss. No cussing. No threatenings. No talking about somebody being unalive. You can't say those things on Facebook. Those things throw a red flag.
So are we on Facebook or are we on this other StreamYard website?
StreamYard is the streaming app that streams over to Facebook.
Oh.
I have to use a different app because of the length of my stuff that I do. So it's just a much easier app to use.
It just streams to Facebook.
Right. So, and I'm not very techie like that. So I have a crew that takes care of that for me. Misty, are you in here? There she is. So are you able to stop wherever you're at and be focused on what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull over.
It's probably a good idea so you don't get in an accident.
I'm actually turning around and driving back to my house.
All right. Well, we got a couple minutes to wait to let people come in anyway. So we'll let you go ahead and do that. Tyler, you got your all right. Okay.
So can I go back over to Facebook so I can see everybody's comments, or do I have to stay here in this studio thing, or?
No, you got to stay here in this studio thing. There will be people who are going to ask questions or whatever, and
But I won't be able to see the comments?
I don't know how you have your screen set up for you to see.
Well, I see I see a chat button. Is that the same chat that's going to be over on Facebook?
Yeah, that's where you can chat to yeah. All right, that's why it's better if you're parked. And then we'll okay. Come on in, everybody. Hi, Shyla, Patricia, Charlene, Christine, Amanda, Nicole, Nancy, Misty. Just acknowledge a few of you while we're waiting. What happened there? Okay. Can you see now?
What's wrong with you?
Who are you trying? Who see? Yeah, Kevin's in here. Y'all don't see Kevin? Okay. Yeah, you might need to refresh your screen because Kevin just joined, so you can just refresh your screen and if you're not seeing him, you should be able to see him. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to let you tell us what we want to know is a detailed account of what happened. Like y'all left, you got to California, and this is what we did from this day to this day, to the best of your knowledge. Good memory. That's what we're looking for is, and there may be things through that, I'll let you go on and tell your stuff, but there may be something that, I have a question about that I may be like, well, what about this? And you can let us know what the answer to that is, or what you think the answer is to that, or what the answer is to that, or however you want to do it.
That's how you want to do it.
Okay, well, you want me to start from the time we left? This could take 10 hours, you know what I mean? Have a detailed description of what we did, where we went. Or should I start with the incident that happened when we separated?
No, I really need to know, like, I would say probably let's start at, since I'm very familiar with the area, let's start at Bakersfield on the I-5 corridor, okay?
All right.
Let's start at Bakersfield. You're coming to the Grapevine. You're going to go through the Grapevine. What you guys did, what day you got there to the Grapevine, and what you guys did from that time forward is what's most important in finding Jackie, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so let's do that. All right. So you arrived at the Grapevine.
Yeah.
On what day?
I'm not going to be able to give you dates because I don't remember the exact date. I was driving up the Grapevine. If you give me some time, I can go refer to my Google's timeline and
Right.
give you the exact information.
Well, I mean, those are the kind of things that we need to know.
We went up over the Grapevine twice.
You both did?
Yes.
You and Jackie together went over the Grapevine twice?
Yes, because we started to leave, and then we decided to come back. Yeah.
Okay.
But we actually came up over the Grapevine twice.
Okay. So
Jackie
you're saying
was driving once, and she scared the heck out of me.
So you're saying that y'all came out of Bakersfield, got on the Grapevine to drop into the valley.
But we left Pocomia area and went over the Grapevine and then came back over.
Okay.
After yeah.
Okay. So okay, I'm trying to get this straight so that it's clarified for everybody.
Yeah.
So you're saying you guys came over the Grapevine and you guys, which drops you into the valley, LA County. I'm very familiar with the area, so I can tell you exactly how many miles it is from Bakersfield to LA, because that's where I grew up. You know what I mean? It's 99 miles. So, so you guys came over the Grapevine, you dropped into the valley, which is LA County, Pacoima, Pasadena, all those different areas, the 110 freeway. What did you do first when you came over the Grapevine?
We stopped at a gas station and filled up gas.
Do you remember where that was at?
Oh, it was. Oh, I really couldn't tell you. We just pulled off and grabbed some fuel.
Okay. Were you already in LA County then? Had you passed the amusement park?
I have no idea. I don't remember seeing an amusement park.
You didn't see it?
No, it was nighttime when we first showed up, and
okay.
I can't remember. I was sleeping some of the time. Jackie was driving. We were taking turns, and so I don't remember exactly. I just remember we pulled off and got some fuel.
Okay. So
and we were like in Pocomia when we stopped to get some fuel, like right there.
Okay. So you had just come out of the Grapevine then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys got gas. What'd you guys do after that?
I'm not sure exactly. I think we found a place to settle down for the night, and get some rest. I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna go look at my timeline, which is gonna help me, show exactly where I was at.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going over there now. Because we were just kind of wandering around and just having the time of it,
Mm-hmm.
See. Okay, I'm gonna open up. Uh,
Oh God. I can't eat those. I'm too sick.
He's looking for his Google timeline, right?
Yeah.
Is he frozen?
No, he's looking through his timeline on Google.
Yeah, he's searching.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Did you listen to what I said the gas station was?
No,
Oh,
I didn't hear you.
I was talking and yeah, you couldn't hear me. It was on Devonshire.
She was talking.
Devonshire. Let's see. Let's see, what is it? Oh, yeah, Devonshire and Lemonwood. Something like that.
Devonshire or what?
Devonwood or something like that. I think that's the name.
Devonwood?
Yeah, Devonwood. It was right there in Devonshire, right off the freeway.
Devonwood.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Arco station.
Arco. Okay. Now, after you guys did that, what did you do? I mean, what was the plan? I mean, what were you guys going to do?
Well, that we're just kind of wandering around. We want to go to Santa Monica. We want to go to the beach. That night, I think, yeah, the first night we were there, we got a motel room.
Okay, where at?
I'm gonna have to go look at my timeline again. And when I'm over there, I'm talking. You can't hear me.
Right.
So I'll go over it and then I'll come back and I'll explain.
Okay.
Okay.
While Kevin is over there doing that, let me just please say and reiterate to everybody, as I always do, that
Hometown
all
Inn.
parties are always considered innocent or presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Okay, I want to make sure that everybody understands that everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court. Okay.
We
All
went
right,
to
go
the
ahead.
Hometown Inn.
Where?
The Hometown Inn. It looks like we stopped at the Hometown Inn. We went down to something night inn, and then we circled back and went to the Hometown. I think it was a little bit cheaper. That's why we stayed there.
Okay. Do you remember what city?
Uh, it was right there close to where we came off the freeway.
Okay, where you got gas at?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay, so you guys stopped at the Hometown Inn. You got a room there for the night.
Wade slept in the car with my dog.
I'm sorry?
Wade slept in the car with my dog.
Okay, Wade stayed in the car?
Yeah, with my dog.
Okay, Wade who?
I really can't remember his last name right now. But I have his phone number. I know where he lives. You know, if anybody wants to talk to him, I'll take you straight to him. You know, not hiding nothing.
Okay. Yeah, they're all asking Wade who.
I don't have a name right now.
Okay.
He's just a guy I know.
Where do you know him from?
I know him from the bottom of Innis Street, where I take my dog to go run around, and I met him down there, and we became friends. You know, we know each other from, like maybe 6 months, 8 months, something like that.
Is that Wade Dickerson?
No, it's not Wade Dickerson. Definitely not.
All right.
Not Wade Darrow either.
Oh, I know it's not Wade Darrow. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I met him.
Okay, so poor old Wade had to sleep in the car
Yep,
with the dogs,
with both dogs.
right? What kind of dog does he have?
It's a pit bull mix.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a purebred, but he was. We talked about maybe mating or breeding our dogs together, but
I'm a big dog fan, so I've got 3 myself. So, yeah, I love dogs. Okay. So poor old Wade had to sleep in the car. You guys stayed in the motel room, right?
yeah.
The next morning, you guys get up. What did you guys do? Or did you even go to sleep?
No, I went to sleep,
Okay.
and we woke up and just started driving around the city. I mean, this is like a little vacation, so we're just driving around. We're looking at parks, and stopping at a park here, the dog out to go to the bathroom, and we're just kind of seeing the sights.
And you don't remember what day that was that you got there?
The 25th, I believe. Yes, the 25th. 25th.
Okay. So I thought, so correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to make sure I get the correct information, okay? I thought that you guys had left Washington on the 25th.
Once again, I'd have to look at my timeline.
Okay, would you do that, please?
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it's gonna take forever.
That's all right. There it is done.
I see on my timeline.
No cussing.
Mike, hey there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Timeline shows on the 25th, I was in Washington and also in California.
Okay, so your timeline is saying that you drove from Washington all the way to California in
In
Same
that
day?
day, in that 24-hour period, yes.
Okay. So you left the 25th. All right. Okay. And then so you guys got up, you guys, and look, I'm totally get what you're saying, because 2 years ago, me and my family, we went back home and we did a whole like trip up and down the coast and took our time and just stopped here and stopped there and stopped here and stopped there. So it's important just to tell me, you know, the places that you recall you were at, because those are the places that we're going to, be looking for her.
It would be easier for me to send you screenshots of my timeline, and you can see every place I stopped, every place we went to, how long we stayed there, everything.
But I can't go by that. I can't depend on that. I have to have.
Wow, that's better than my memory.
You can certainly send it to me. I would like to have it, please. You can send it to me, through the messenger.
Well, we just kind of bounced around town, drove around, got on freeways. We just went wherever whim we had, that's what we did. This would
Okay.
be a lot. I, I, I can't tell you exactly what we did, when exactly we did it without the timeline, and I think it would be better served to, this is up to you. I'm just making a suggestion. Better served to start at the incident where we separated.
But I think it would be better served to go through where you guys have went, because those are places that she could have gone back to.
Okay, well, like I told everybody before, I'm supposed to be on the road driving. If I could do this going down the road, it would be a lot better. If you don't mind me doing that, because I have to be getting somewhere to get my niece to Seattle to an appointment in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you wanted to do this right now, so
Yeah.
and I told you we could do it tomorrow. We could reschedule it for tomorrow, but you were pretty
Yeah,
insistent
yeah,
you wanted to do
yeah.
it.
And when right now it's fine, I'm just gonna do it going down the road, and my niece can hold the phone and do all that,
Okay.
because I have to get her to an appointment. That's the most important thing right now. She's pregnant.
Okay. Sure. All right. So,
My brother's going into the house to grab her right now, and we'll do it going down the road. But yeah, we can continue.
all right. So when did you guys go to the beach?
That was on the 26th or 27th, I believe. Hold on, once again, I'm gonna go check.
Okay. Let me see that page.
Let's see. That would be.
Kevin, you need to stay here and just do the interview.
No, we have to go. Oh my God. Okay, 26th. The 26th. The 26th. We pretty much left the hometown inn and went straight to the beach.
Okay, the 26th. You left and went to the beach.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know approximately, it doesn't have to be, right on, but approximately how long you guys were there?
The beach, probably we probably checked out like 11 or 12, and then we drove down there, and we stayed until probably I think 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe. Or maybe
Okay.
it wasn't that long, but yeah, we just. It seemed like most of the morning and afternoon we were there at the beach.
It wasn't getting dark yet.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So after you guys went to the beach and you left there, what did you do?
Can we address the wheelchair thing since everybody
Yes. Yeah.
everybody is talking about this wheelchair thing? Uh,
Absolutely.
Jackie thought it would be fun or a good idea to steal a wheelchair and try to wheel me down to the beach. I did have some trouble walking in the sand because it was thick sand and I have bad knees and it hurt my knees. So Jackie was like, "I'm gonna steal this wheelchair." I said, "No, Jackie, don't do that." And she insisted on doing it, so she went and grabbed the wheelchair, and it was too small. I sat in it, and she tried pushing me down this bumpy little boardwalk thing that they have that kind of heads down to the beach, and you know, it didn't work.
Okay.
So I got out of the chair and walked. It
Okay.
was that was the whole wheelchair incident.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. So
I'm suspended. Okay.
okay. So after you guys left the beach, what did you guys do?
We just kind of drove around, and once again, I would have to sit in front of my timeline, and I can't do that when I'm talking to you.
Okay. Do you
We,
want to take a
I
second
don't
and
know, I don't know places. I couldn't name places we went. We just drove around, parked some places, probably stopped at a Safeway maybe, and got something to eat. Well, I'm sure we were hungry after leaving the beach.
I was going to ask you, did you guys ever eat?
But yeah, we just, you
Okay.
know, we didn't have an itinerary or nothing. We just kind of went where the where
Well, why
the
don't you take a second and email me that timeline, and I can be looking at it while we're talking.
Okay, we can do that.
How's that sound?
All right.
Can you follow me? Can you get out?
Yeah.
Can you get out?
People want to know ask what she was wearing the last time he seen her.
Okay.
They didn't want to know the route that he drove home.
And what the trip was about. You're asking, but
Okay, I just used a screen record app, and I scrolled through slowly on my timeline, which shows all the other places we stopped and stuff. So I'll go ahead and send that to your not your email, but your messenger.
Okay.
Morning and afternoon. Okay. Did you get the video? The screen record?
I'm looking for it.
It might take a little bit to load. I kind of went through it kind of fast, but you can stop the video and read the places that we stopped at.
Okay.
Then if you have any questions about any of the spots, then I'll answer questions.
All right. I'm just looking at it right now. So you guys stayed at a couple of different hotels or motels while you were there.
We stopped in a couple of parking lots. We didn't stay inside.
Okay. Well, so when you were at the Hometown Inn, you stayed there, right?
Yeah.
Not in the
That was the only time we got a room.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Okay, so I'm just looking. It goes really fast, so but that's okay. So you didn't stay at the Sepulveda?
No, not inside. That might have been one where we parked in the parking lot for a couple hours or a few hours and got a nap or something.
Okay. Whoops. And so you guys went to the Rosa Parks Center?
Okay.
That's what it
I don't
says.
remember that. No.
Okay.
It was pretty hot, and my air conditioning didn't work good, so we would often try to find a place to hide under the trees for a little while, and try to cool off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's see. Then you went to the beach. I see that. And then you were driving. Okay. So after you went to the beach, you left there, and I'm looking at the timeline, and it's like you stopped at that place, that motel you said you didn't stay in, right?
Correct.
Okay. Hold on just a second. It's really difficult because it's hard to. Can you have someone, instead of running like a taped version, just do like a screenshot of each section so that it shows where you were?
Okay. Yeah, I can
That
probably do
would
that.
be much easier because you can't
Yeah, I'm
even
not
look at
driving.
it.
I'm not driving. My niece is driving.
Okay. Oh, good.
So
That's perfect.
I'll go and do. I'll click on each place, so it'll show a screenshot on the map of that place and the surrounding areas.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
a,
I'd like to have a screenshot of each section as you guys go.
Okay.
That would
All
be
right. I'll
great.
do
That
that.
would be very
I'll do that.
helpful.
Okay.
Okay, we'll wait for it.
So, yeah.
Where?
Which one?
I don't know where that is. Laundromat?
Okay, August 26th. Timeline. Okay, got it.
I'm interested in who this. My fever's going back up.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and send those to your messenger now. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, perfect. Let me see.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and send those to your messenger now. Okay, I just sent like 20 some pictures of the
Okay,
map
perfect.
and good spots.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me go look. That'll probably be a lot more helpful to be able to see it as we're talking about it. So you won't have to keep going back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So Friday the 26th is when you got into town?
Well, the 23 early morning of the 26th, maybe, or the 25th. You know, that's when we got there and we got the motel room.
Yeah, it was like super early in the morning. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay. Um Same difference, like around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And yeah, this is a lot easier to look at. It makes it a lot easier to understand what's happening. Okay. So, all right. So you guys went to the plaza.
We spent the Panorama Mall. We spent a lot of time there throughout the time that we were there because there was a nice, cool spot back in the corner under the trees, and it was just a nice little spot to like hang out.
Okay. And what would you guys do while you were hanging out?
We would
Anything
sit
cool?
there, uh, listen to music. Uh, we did a lot of time talking to characters around the area. You know what I mean? There was this
Right.
guy that he had this gig where he was bringing shopping carts to people at the 99-cent only store, and he would then take the carts back and put them away, and people were giving him tips, and he kept his crack pipe in the tree over on the side,
Uh
and
huh.
and between his little pushing his carts, he'd go over there and take a couple hits of crack, and he was just a fun guy to watch. It was quite interesting, and
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that goes on there. Yeah, for sure. So,
yeah, and then he told us about the church around the corner that we could shower at. So I asked him, man, where could we get a shower? And he told us so around the corner this church. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah,
okay.
we would just sit there for hours and just try to stay cool in the heat of the day.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So let's go back here. All right. So you guys did that. You go to the store, all that stuff, and then you guys are pretty much hanging around that same area for a
Yeah,
while. Um, so and then you guys went to the Dollar Tree on Balboa Boulevard, right?
yes,
Okay.
and that's where I lost Jackie and Wade for a little while. I couldn't find my way back. Yeah, they were doing some shopping there. I went to get some fuel in the car and something to drink, I think, and I couldn't find my way back to them. I drove around for quite a long time, and I tried cross-referencing dollar stores near Chase Bank, believe it or not, there is like 7 of them in that area. They had Chase Banks right next to it. It's really weird.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I drove, and their phone had died, so they couldn't get it charged up if they didn't have a cord. And man, I drove around for hours. And it was light out. It was really dark by the time I actually found them again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that was the Dollar Tree, Balboa Boulevard, Northridge, right? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so, and then it says last seen Jackie, Van Nuys Boulevard.
That's the McDonald's. That's the McDonald's. I marked that as last seen Jackie because that's where I last seen Jackie. That was what I named that spot at
Okay.
McDonald's.
Okay. So this all took place on the same day,
Yes.
on Friday.
Yep. If it was Friday, I'm not sure exactly which. It was Friday or Saturday or Sunday.
Well,
It
all
was
of them
kind of thing
say,
that we didn't want to keep track. You know what I mean? That was our thing.
okay. Well, all these screenshots show that it's the 26th. So
Yeah.
you guys got into town, you rented a room, went to sleep, and then you guys got up, went to the beach, um, you know, left the beach, went to the grocery store. Ralph's is where you went.
Yeah.
You guys went to the Dollar Tree in Northridge, and then you say it says that you last seen Jackie at 9:23 p.m.
I
on the
wrote that. I marked that spot today. I wrote last seen Jackie. I didn't write it then. I wrote that in there today and called that area last seen Jackie. And every time we go to that on my timeline, it's going to say last seen Jackie because that's what I called that McDonald's.
Right. Well, I mean, you only went to the McDonald's once.
That day.
Do you have other days that you can show me? Because this is only showing just that one day.
No, we slept most nights at that McDonald's.
Okay. Well, do you have the other days? That would be really helpful because
Okay,
it's
well,
only
I have to go to the next day and do the same thing again to show you each spot on the timeline. That was just that day. Yeah, that's why you don't see us there in any other time because that was only one day.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. That's what I'm saying to you is you send me this first thing and it shows all the places that you went. Okay, while
Yeah.
you were there. So I'm just trying to
While we
understand.
were there, that was only that day is this place we went on that day.
Okay, can you give me the other ones for the other days so I know?
Absolutely.
That would be great. That
All
would
right.
be
It'll take a while, but I'll get those and pop it back to you. All right.
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Huh.
People want to know. Want to ask him where Wade lives and what his phone number is.
Okay. He's working right now on getting us the copies of the other days, which will be most useful in being able to backtrack. You know, she may have returned to those places, and
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yep. Nicky said that he he knows where Wade lives and his number.
Okay.
You could fill in some maybe more details about Jackie. Somebody says I just tuned in about 5 minutes ago. I can already tell something stinks.
People are so funny.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't know the name of the people in your car you're traveling with?
Hey.
Misty.
Yeah. Tell her I know.
Sean's asking about your fever and how you're feeling.
I have a fever right now.
And here come the screenshots for the 27th.
Do what, hun?
Here comes the screenshots for the timeline for the 27th.
Okay, great.
For the whole day. Now I'm gonna go do the 28th. While you're looking at those.
Okay. Okay, I got 25. I need some air. I'm running a fever. I've got a fever, y'all. Okay, wait. I need some Advil, please. Oh, this thing's going off over here, and I didn't see it because that pop-up was there. Smoke break. Yes, Quinta, smoke break is good. Although I don't smoke.
Any soda?
Oh, I got my shake right here. Thank you. Yes, I know who Jeremy Summers is, Jay. Nothing yet. Thanks, Carrie Ann. Yeah, this is the third time I've had it. The problem is I'm on chemotherapy, and so they're killing your immune system essentially when they're doing that, and so that's why I keep getting it, and why each time it's worse than the prior. So, but I'm okay right now. I've got a fever, and I'm feel like I've been hit by a shopping cart, a full shopping cart. Yeah, I see that. Where'd he go? Kevin, I'm still here so that you can go ahead and use the same code I gave you to come back in the live. Yeah, thank you, Carrie Ann. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amanda. I don't know. He may have just got uh, disconnected. So we'll see. We'll give him a minute to get back in because he said it would take him a minute to. Okay, so that's pretty much what he's doing. Is he's working on giving me the timeline that he has. I'm here, doll. Yes, Misty. Yes, I am still receiving the timeline information. There he is. Okay, are you there?
Yeah, I came back and I got kicked off there for a second or something.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go now and keep going on my screenshot.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, the 29th is the day of the incident when she got out of my car and was throwing things at me and we separated.
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, so at some point your friend parts ways, right?
Yes.
Okay, when was that?
I'll have to go on a timeline and see when we went to the Greyhound.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you exactly which day it was, but he was so upset with Jackie. Jackie was being very mean to him. I mean, telling, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your dog." She was saying some really, really bad things to him. And finally, I can't take it no more. Jackie wouldn't let him sit up in the front seat. Kind of stretch his legs. She was making him sit in the back seat without, any relief up in the front. But
Okay.
she was saying, "I'm going to kill your dog." That's what he said. That's it. I'm hopping on a bus. I'm going home.
Okay. So when he parted ways and you guys dropped him off at Greyhound there, did he take his dog with them?
Yes.
Okay. So he took his dog with him home on the bus, and your
Yeah,
dog stayed with you.
he took his dog on the bus with him.
Okay. And let me ask you something else. I'm sorry?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let's go to the day. So do you think it was the day before you and Jackie had the argument that he went to the bus station, or do you have a
I think I would have to go look at the timeline, but it was the day. No, it was maybe a day or 2 days before. It was very long.
okay? Yeah, because I'm
I
not
can go check.
seeing.
I can go check. See what? You're not seeing what?
I'm not seeing the Greyhound.
Okay, maybe it was like a Greyhound depot or something. I'm not sure. Let me go take a look. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay.
So wondering if there's a tick of weight.
But no, we have a picture of Wade in the dog.
Okay.
And the phone number too.
Right. Right.
Can you take dogs on the Greyhound bus?
I'm thinking it was the Prince Palace truck stop. Might have been the where he got on the bus. Possibly. I
On
know
the
we Googled the British Greyhound, and we were at a that's right. We were at a grocery store. Oh man, I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Um, can you give me Wade's number, or do you have a picture of Wade?
I don't have a picture of Wade, and I can't just give you his number, but I will call him tomorrow. This is 9:33. I'll call him right now. As a matter of fact,
Okay, that'd be great.
can I call while you guys are listening, or?
Sure.
Okay, I'm not sure if it'll work though, because when I come off of this page right here, it goes to something else. I don't think there's sound, but I'll try. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I hit
Yes.
the mic button. Yeah, but I think I hit the mic button. My I got a call rejected.
Okay.
Message. I think I'm gonna call from. I'm gonna go back and get the number, and I'm gonna call from my niece's phone.
Okay.
That way, I'll be able to come back, and you'll be able to hear the phone conversation.
Okay. Of course, Jeanette. I wasn't asking him to give the number out online, through a message like he has with the screenshots and stuff like that. I wouldn't put anybody's personal information like that online.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm getting if I call from my phone or another phone. You might have changed his number or something,
All right. Okay, so let's jump now
But
to
probably bad at it,
well, you could send me any more of the Google stuff that you have later, but let's go ahead and jump to the day that you and Jackie had your falling out. So I would like to say I would like for you to tell us when you arrived at McDonald's and what happened from that point on. Hello? Oops, lost him for a second. He's traveling, so he's probably got. Where is this person at? There he is. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, okay. What? I'm going to go back over to the chat. Okay, so we probably got to McDonald's. We usually go through, get some frozen drinks, so like the frozen Coke, so we might have had something to eat, I'm not sure. And we parked, and we probably did some drugs, and, then we would fall asleep.
Okay, hold on just a second. It's kind of hard to hear you, so can you speak up a little louder?
Yeah. Okay, we would probably go through the drive-through, get something to eat, probably some frozen Cokes. We like to drink those, and we would sit there, talk, listen to music. We would do some drugs probably, and then we would probably fall asleep.
Okay, so
And
you
then
guys.
We were asleep before the incident happened, and at least I was, and she was trying to wake me up.
Okay. So you picked up narcotics while you were there?
No.
Okay, you brought them with you?
Yeah, we had some.
What kind, Kevin?
Fentanyl powder.
Okay.
And there was an occasion that we ran out and got we bought a little something over there,
Okay. Was it from somebody at the hotel, somebody at the beach, somebody at
Just a person in the park, you know. You
person in
kind
the
of
park?
spot the people. Yeah, you kind of spot somebody, you know, that uses drugs, and you ask for it, you know.
Right, right. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's like a common thing there. You can go to a park and just walk through there and kind of be like, what do you got, dude? So,
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Okay. So, all right. So she was trying to wake you up,
Yep.
and and then go ahead in your own words.
Okay. She woke me up, and she was saying, Kevin, wake up, get me high. I want to do some. I want to smoke a foil, and smoking a foil is fentanyl powder.
Right.
And I think I said, okay, just a minute. I think, and then I probably drifted back off to sleep, and she's waking me up again. Kevin, wake up, get me high. And I was tired. I think I fell back to sleep a few times, and I just come on, just let me wake up. I tell her, I'll take you every here in a minute, and then she said, come on, Kevin, you're jonesing me. You're jonesing me. Those were her exact words. I remember that because I was kind of irritated by then, and I started mocking her. I said, you're jonesing me. You're jonesing me. I started saying what she was saying back to her, and it made her angry.
Okay.
And I noticed her eyes kind of got diverted from me, and she started looking down at a spot on the floor. And I looked down and I seen what she was looking, and she was looking at my little glass vial of fentanyl powder. And she made a move to grab it. And because it was under my leg, on the floorboard on my side, I was able to grab it before she did. And at that point, she opened the car door, and she stepped out of the car. And she started yelling real loud, trying to, draw attention, like some woman would do if they're trying to, draw attention to an incident. And I believe she was doing that. I don't know. I'm just saying speculation. I believe she was doing that. So I would let into her or something, or go ahead and hurry up and get her high or something. She was making a lot of noise. And in a situation like that, it's well known that if there's a domestic situation, most times somebody is gonna probably go to jail, and most times it's the man. So I started my car, and I said, Jackie, come on, just get in the car, let's go. Come on, let's go, come on. Sorry, get in the car, let's go. And she started throwing things at my car out of her bag, I think, or her pocket. And I was trying to maneuver my car so I could get out of there, away from her, and not hit her. And while I was doing that, she's a pretty good shot. She had this pocket knife, and she threw it through the window, and it smacked me right in the side of the head. And at that point, I'm like, I'm getting the frick out of here. So I maneuvered around her. I went out of the parking lot, and as I'm doing this, she's screaming and yelling and throwing more stuff at me. And I'm like, man, I just need to get away from here. I think the cops are coming. I don't want nothing to do with them. So I jumped on the first little freeway thing I saw, and I hit the freeway, and I just started driving and thinking, man, what am I gonna do? And
right.
then I think I turned back around at some point, going, man, I can't do this. I can't just leave Jackie standing there, I got a text message from her and said, my phone's dead. Quit being stupid. So I turned around right then, and I got a voice call from her too. She called me and we talked briefly, and she said, "Kevin, come back here. I'm sorry, quit being stupid." And I go, "Well, why do you want me to come back? Are you gonna have the police waiting there for me or what, or something like that?" And she said something, cussed me out or something, and hung up the phone. Even after that, I believe right then or shortly after, I went back to the McDonald's to see if I could spot her. To hopefully she had settled down, and it would be like other little arguments or something we'd have, and and that would be it. And we'd just move on, go out, about our day. When I went back there, I didn't see her. And I'm not sure if I pulled into the parking lot at that time or not, but I drove by a couple times and I couldn't see her. And let's see what I do next. I think maybe at that time when I was looking for her, I get a couple police officers. And I thought, oh no, maybe she did get a hold of the police after me. And they might be looking for me or something.
Okay, hold on just a second because you're kind of breaking up, so we're not hearing you very well.
Back up a little bit too if you can hear me. I'm going to get a drink of water. My mouth gets kind of dry.
Okay. So.
Okay,
so you were saying that you saw cops. So in all fairness, I mean, let's be honest. You guys have been doing dope, and so you kind of got that little paranoia thing going on. So
yeah.
I mean, which is normal, especially when you're doing fentanyl, and so that could have very well not been the case. All of them really.
Well, we're doing both.
Right. So, okay. So
I want to back up a little bit.
Okay.
On what I was saying. When the first freeway I hopped on, I guess I was headed towards Simi Valley or something like that.
Simi Valley, yes.
Yeah. I went down and went to a parking ride and pulled off. Trying to figure out what am I gonna do, and that's when I decided to go back and look for Jackie. Man, I gotta go back. I'm gonna, I go back and look for her. And I just wanted to add that I went down to a parking ride.
Okay.
And then just kind of sat there, and then when I went back after I went and looked for her again, I see the police officers. I thought they might have been looking for me, so I hopped back on it was 118. I guess that was headed towards Pasadena. And I drove down to another parking ride, which was show on my timeline, and I stopped there, and I didn't know what to do. I was tired. I couldn't drive anymore, so I went to sleep. And the next morning I wake up, I go back, and I'm looking for her again. I go to the McDonald's. I'm thinking, well, maybe she went over to the Panorama Mall where we were hanging out with this fella that was, doing the carts or whatever. And at the 99-cent only store, I went over there. I went to the church that offers showers and food in the morning between 8 and 10, I believe. And I went there to get a shower and hoping that, she needed a shower and she would go there, or she thought maybe I would go there to look for her and hoping that she would be there. And she wasn't.
Okay. And so then what'd you do?
Uh, I think I went back and forth. I think I might have gone back and forth to the McDonald's, maybe back to the Panorama Mall a couple times. And, this trip, to me, it was only like 5, 6 days or whatever, but it really felt like it was like weeks. You know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 weeks to me for some reason, And I think that was after the incident, It just seemed a long time. I had to see Jackie, it was rain. I was upset. I didn't want to go home without her. I didn't want to, but I had to. I couldn't find her.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
Okay, hold on just a second. I understand that you're upset, but I can't understand what you're saying. So tell me that again.
I said I didn't want to go home without her. I was looking for her. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't find her. I'm running out of money. When she hopped out of the car, she took like $350. It was supposed to be for our fuel money to get home. We set that aside, so we wouldn't be stuck.
Right.
And now I'm out of gas. I'm alone, and the only thing I can think of is just start driving as far as I can get. And try to call family or friends to get money. But I really didn't. I want the family to know I really didn't want to leave without her. I really didn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find her. She did not answer the phone.
Okay. So then you went ahead and left.
Yeah,
And
I left her home.
so you went you went ahead and went home. And so that was
well, on the way home, we had another text exchange. It was another time we had a text exchange. She wouldn't tell me where she was at. She told me she's doing fine. She met this half white, half Mexican guy that was hot and sexy. They've been having sex for 3 hours. And I'm sure she's probably just saying that dinner my feelings. And she said some other stuff. I got the messages.
you got what?
I have some messages.
Right.
At that time,
Yeah.
she said something about Highway 101. She was riding down Highway 101 with this guy,
Right.
man, or something. and something about a man from south of the border. They were going to meet up, or they were going to. I can't remember exactly, but he mentioned something. Somebody's coming from south of the border or something.
Okay.
And I start to get afraid. I'm
Okay.
thinking,
Right. Okay. So when was it that you say that you guys drove together back over the grapevine and then came back again?
That we wait a minute. You said that I say we drove together. No, we drove together. We were gonna leave Los Angeles. We're gonna leave, and we drove back over, and then we decided to go back. This was sometime before. It was showing the timeline. It's sometime before the incident happened, of course.
Before the incident happened?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't remember when? Was it that day?
The day before, I don't know. It'll be in my timeline. I gave it So I don't think I've given you that one yet.
Okay,
I'm not
here's the
sure.
thing though. Let me kind of go over this with you, okay? Just for a
Okay.
second, okay? Just so you understand where I'm coming from. The timeline stuff, it's, really the time Google timelines can be manipulated. You can put in there whatever you want. You can
Oh, I don't
change.
think so. I don't think so, lady. I mean, if I
Yeah.
was a hacker or something, maybe. But that, yeah, nice try.
Wait. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Let me tell you.
You have to be pretty tech savvy and really know something to be able to manipulate Google. They're
Right.
like the top technology in like the world.
Right. Okay. So I don't see, if that's the case, then I don't see where you guys left and went over. Like my Google timeline, I can add stuff to it.
Well, we didn't go. We didn't go all the way over.
Well, no, but
We
going
went to
over
a
a
truck stop.
timeline is a long way.
Well, yeah, we didn't go all the way over down in the other bottom where Bakersfield's at. We didn't do that. We stopped at a truck stop up on top somewhere, and we spent the night there, and we decided to go back. I think it was because Jackie wanted to see Hollywood, the Hollywood sign. We hadn't seen it, and it was something that she wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we were heading back to see it.
Okay.
We didn't end up going and seeing it, but
And then I saw some stuff, and you also sent me some stuff where you talked about that Jackie reached out and left somebody a voicemail.
yes, last night one of Jackie's sisters, and she called her a sister, maybe a half sister, Kathy Roberts. I don't know if family could, say more about who Kathy Roberts is. I met her when she was like 18 years old. Actually, on her 18th birthday, I met Jackie Roberts.
Okay.
I mean, like Kathy Roberts. Kathy Roberts.
Right. And so, okay, go ahead.
Well, she came over with another mutual friend, and she wanted, she wanted some answers, and I did my best to help her. It's like I'm doing now, and then she tells me that another person we know on the 10th of September got a voicemail, an actual voicemail with her voice, saying, Tony, can you come get me? I'm stuck down here, or something like that. I didn't get the exact words, but she called this person, and was asking help to get home.
Okay.
And when I heard that, man, it was great. I knew, yeah, you said the 10th of September, she was okay. Or maybe not okay, but her voice. And,
all right.
and I could probably get that voice.
Did you talk to this person yourself?
Tony, no, I didn't talk to Tony myself, no. Another friend, the friend that came over with Kathy, said that Tony told him that she called on the 10th.
Okay.
His name's Gary.
Okay. So now, and so here's the thing. The family has.
I know this. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
What?
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Right.
I don't know
No,
if it's true. I don't know if this is true. I'm just telling you this is what
No, I got you.
Captain Robert and Gary
I'm
told
not
me.
I'm not saying at all that you're lying. What I was going to do was inform you that the family has reached out to Tony, and that person says that that is not true, that they have not received a call from Jackie, let alone a voicemail.
Okay,
So
well,
and I'm not saying that you're making it up. What I'm saying is that that information's not true. So
you
that
can't say
kind of,
that. No, listen, please, will you listen to me for a minute? You can't say that. Tony may not want to get involved. He's that type of person. So you can't say that that's not true because you don't know that. That would be me saying, "Oh, that's true."
mm-hmm.
But I can't
Fair
say
enough. Fair
I don't
enough.
know.
So let me say this. It would be pretty darn stupid to say, no, that never happened. With the way that phone service works these days, it is not hard to get that information at all.
Well,
Yeah.
the number that supposedly Jackie called from, they gave me that number.
Which
I
number?
called it last. The number that these people said Jackie called from.
Okay. Is that the number that you sent me in the email messages?
I'm not sure. Which
I mean,
when I
text
called that
messages.
number, it was a 477 number.
Let me see. Let me look real quick, so we're on the same page, so that we're not just like, doing weird stuff here. Hold on just a second, hon. Let me look. That way I can give you the correct information.
But it's just where it kind of gets strange.
Okay.
Okay, this is where it kind of gets strange. I call this number, and a man answers, and it sounds like he's trying to wake up. I don't hear any words or really hear anything that he's saying for like 30 seconds maybe, and just kind of weird. This guy answers, he's making noises, and he's not saying anything. And he hangs up. I call again, and I say, "Hello, is Jackie there? Yes, please speak to Jackie. Do you know where she's at?" And the guy says, "No, Jackie, no, Jackie." And he hangs up the phone.
Okay.
And then he doesn't.
So when I called, I'm sorry. When I called that number, a voicemail picked up and said, "This is Mikey."
No, that's just the other phone. That's the phone she was carrying with her when I was with her.
Whose phone was that?
Somebody named Mikey, I assume.
You don't know who it is?
I tried to recognize the voice. I know a few Mikeys. Jackie kind of had a habit of picking up things that weren't hers. And that's probably one of the items she picked up along the way that wasn't hers.
But
she probably stole the phone from somebody.
Okay, follow me for a second.
Or maybe somebody gave it to her.
Okay, follow me for a second here, okay? And maybe you have a better answer for us, okay? So she has always used her phone. Even if she didn't have service, she knew that she could pick up Wi-Fi at McDonald's or wherever, and she would go on her messenger to talk to people.
But she did that on my phone. She did it on several different phones all the time.
Okay, but
and you can't tell whose phone that is.
You got to hear me out for a second because that's
okay,
how we're going to.
Okay, Can I get back to you for a second? I gotta look at the ferry schedule
Okay.
to see if we're gonna take the boat over to Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to look. It's not gonna let me. Let's see. I can't use Google Assistant because just pull over.
I'm going to.
Okay, I'm gonna have to use Google Assistant, but it won't let me because the microphone's already being used. I'm gonna have to do it old school style. Look it up.
Oh, all right.
Washington. Very schedule. Very schedule. Just pull over.
I am, I know.
Seattle neighborhood. Seattle neighborhood. No. Go back. Seattle neighborhood. Okay. These beavers. Monday through Friday. These babies on Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. We are driving around.
Okay.
Whoa, I wasn't that. Okay, looks like we're going to drive around through Tacoma to the ferries. Not running this thing. Okay.
Gee.
Okay, where were we at now? You're going to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say why would she still be using her phone? She's always had it. She, would talk to Charlie all the time on it. She talked to her sisters all the time on it. Why would she all of a sudden start using this strange phone and hers is nowhere to be found?
You mean the strange phone? Me and Mikey's phone? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the Mikey phone.
Okay, I really don't know. I can't answer that. I do know she had a couple of phones, and at least two, maybe more, in that bag of hers.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, so I don't.
Would it surprise you if I told you that I know who owns that phone?
No, because you're probably doing some homework.
Right.
I would expect that.
And that it's a friend of yours?
No, would it surprise me? Which friend are you referring to?
Well, I'm not gonna say his name online, but
We're breaking up. We're breaking up now. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
We're in a bad reception area.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You sound like a computer. You know how it kind of sounds like a robot, kind of. So
Right.
Right. Okay, we turn around and we'll come back this way. Better reception. No, it wouldn't surprise me because she would hang out with the same people I would when we were together, and
Okay, so you wouldn't recognize this person's voice if you heard it?
the voice. It sounded like somebody like real tired. He was just waking up when he said, "Oh, his throat was kind of gravelly." So it, you know, I wouldn't doubt it if it's somebody I knew.
Okay.
I wouldn't say friend because it seems like I would be able to recognize a friend's voice.
Okay. So let me. Another question that kind of was on everybody's mind was, what was she wearing when she got out of the car?
I'm not sure exactly what she was wearing. I believe she did have on this leather type coat that she had. Uh, probably a pair of leggings maybe. Just she always wore them. Always wore leggings.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't say exactly what color. Things were flying at me, and I was trying to get away from the flying objects.
Right.
So I didn't pay a lot of attention on what she was wearing.
Okay.
Oftentimes, while I'm sleeping, she would, freshen up, put different clothes on. She didn't sleep as much as I did. She was awake a lot more, up nights, while I was sleeping.
Right. Now, what was I going to say? There was something I was going to ask you about. Oh, I'm trying to kind of clear up some of the rumors flying around, because you said there's rumors flying around. So, I mean, you're the person to ask those questions to, right? So let me see. What else was I going to ask you? I was just going to ask you something. I'm so not feeling good because I'm got COVID, but okay. So we already are pretty certain after we run the check that there was no voicemail.
I'm still gonna look into it.
Huh?
I'm still gonna look into that voicemail.
Yeah.
Maybe I can talk to Tony and maybe he'll share that with me. I don't know, but I do know that Kathy, Jackie would say that she might have been having some mental problems. She's been looking for Kathy for a while.
Looking for what?
Looking for Kathy.
Okay.
And she mentioned something about that Kathy may have some mental problems, but when I saw Kathy, I didn't see that, but she could be getting there. So maybe you're right. Maybe this is something that got made up. But what kind of you see is if it was made up. The guy that was with Kathy last night, Gary is not a type of person to lie. Gary does not lie. And when he says that Tony told him Jackie sent a voicemail, I believe him. But it may be wrong, I'm just going to look into it. It's like anything else I try to, whatsoever.
Well, like I said, it won't be difficult at all to get the phone records to see if that's true. So that's no big deal. But I do have a question I want to ask you from me.
The number she called from isn't the number of that Mikey person. It's a different phone.
Right.
And but I was going to tell you earlier, it's really strange because I tried to text that number and it said the text wouldn't go through. because it's not a wireless phone. From what I can tell, it's a wireless number. You know how wireless numbers in your area. You know which one's a wireless number or a home phone. And it was really weird. Yeah,
Are you talking about? Are you talking about the Mikey phone?
No, the number that Kathy gave me that the call from the voicemail came from.
Oh, okay. Do you have that number?
Yes, I do.
Can you give it to me?
Yeah,
Yeah, just send it to me in my
all right.
inbox after we're done. But I want to ask you
Okay,
this.
yeah. Just remind me.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Could you you can text him to me or however you want to do it. I'll give you my number.
Look for it.
Okay. So this is a question that I have for you from me. Okay. Yesterday, when you and I spoke, and you told me about the voicemail, I asked you to please contact the police department and let them know, and you didn't. Why?
I did.
Really?
You can call the detective Waterhouse, whatever his name is. You can ask him that. He may not tell you. I don't know.
I did talk to him. I did talk to him.
I told him about that, yes. And I asked him, are you familiar with Tony Bankhauser? And he said, yes, I am.
Okay.
He knows who Tony Bankhauser is. And that is where that's the number Jackie called.
Okay. Well, I spoke to him today and asked him if he was aware of it, and he said he wasn't. And I asked him directly if you had told him, and he said no, he hadn't spoken to you.
That's because when I was talking to you and you asked me that, so I had just gotten the information.
No, I understand.
I couldn't tell him.
But I talked to the detective this afternoon, and he said no, that he had not been told about that. So I was why would you tell them?
This afternoon is when I called the detective. I've been calling him. He hasn't been calling me. I've been contacting him, and because I keep trying to urge him to please hurry and get the video footage from the McDonald's before they erase it. Because in 60 days from the time something's recorded, McDonald's erases it. They wouldn't give me the footage. They will only give it to law enforcement, they said, what the manager told me. And I just keep calling him, urging him, please get that video footage from the McDonald's.
Okay.
Because that's going to tell a story.
Okay. And then I have another question. You had told me that you had been interviewed by the detectives.
No, I did not say that.
Okay, tell me what
I said was I talked to a sheriff deputy named Amy something. And I talked to her at my house. I later talked to her on the phone. And she told me that she was going to hand this case off to a detective. And that, the detective would be getting a hold of me. He didn't. I had to call dispatch, find out who was handling the case. And I've been calling him and, trying to figure things out.
What's the detective's name?
Waterhouse or I think it's Waterhouse. Something,
Okay.
water, something, house, something, you know.
So you keep calling him and he's not returning your call?
No. He's taking my call. I just keep calling him and talking to him.
Okay.
Like earlier today, this afternoon, I called him and told him about this voicemail possibility, you know, so he can go check it out.
Okay. All right, good. And so you guys have never sat down and discussed it then?
So,
Has he asked you to?
yes, this is gonna
Okay.
happen tomorrow. Well, this is after, yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, that'll be good. And you can go in and write and tell him, the whole thing of what went on and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Right. So what day did you make it back to Washington?
I think it was late on the 29th or the 30th. I didn't go all the way to Port Angeles. I stopped in a place called McCleary at a friend of mine's house to get some rest, to rest up.
Okay. And then you haven't heard from Jackie since then.
No, it was before I got back to Washington that I had heard from her. I was I believe, still in California when I last heard from her.
Okay. Well, this has been really, really helpful for you to do this. So I appreciate that. Now, let's clarify, you and I, what took place earlier, Mr. Kevin, because
Does that really matter?
it doesn't, but I want
all
you
that's gonna do is convolute things between us, and that doesn't have anything to do with finding Jackie.
Of course it doesn't.
If you want to get into that, we can, and I will give my opinion. But I believe it would be a waste of time. But if you want to sit and talk about it, we can.
All I wanted to say to you was that I have been messaging you all day, and you were not responding. So I wasn't being unprofessional or being mean to you. I had been messaging you all day.
I had an appointment, and I showed up at that time. I didn't know exactly how to get a hold of you, so I was commenting on your post. I thought you would get notifications.
Okay. Well, I mean, you were on the internet all day when I was messaging you, posting other stuff. So I was like, why isn't he answering back? That's weird, But like you said,
I got a lot of people right now wanting a piece of me, and I'm trying to help everybody. I want to help everybody feel better about what's going on.
I understand that. But this is a young girl who's missing, and to me, it's somebody that you say you love. So to me, it's like that should go to the top of the list, and let's get her found. You know what I mean?
I was talking with family members and friends of hers all day. All day long. Somebody will think of something. I mean, you can see my inbox, man. It's crazy.
You were talking to her family members?
And I kind of felt like it was a higher priority.
I'm sorry.
Because I was going to show up at 6 o'clock. I thought it was a higher priority to respond and speak to them and try to give them some type of answer than to answer you because at 6 o'clock I had an appointment with you, and that's when, and I kind of forgot about
And I
the
totally
pre-live.
agree. I totally agree with you that it is a higher priority. The family, of course, is a higher priority, but you need to understand that I work for the family. That's what I'm working for. That's why I'm trying to find their sister, their daughter. That's who I work for. So me doing this interview with you, I
Believe
was
it or
trying
not,
to,
I'm working for them also. They just
I
don't
was
think
trying
I am.
right. I was trying to give you an outlet to tell your story because you were sending me messages saying that people were lying about you and saying bad things and everything else. So I was trying to give
I don't
you
remember. I don't remember saying that. I really don't remember saying it. People are lying about me and saying bad things. I said that. I'm going to go back and look, but I don't remember saying that.
okay. All right. So
My niece made me aware. You gave an invitation on your live, and my niece saw that and contacted me and said, "Hey, this lady wants to talk to you." And so that's how we got contact.
mhm. This is what you said to me. I would like to do a live interview. I would like you to do a live interview with me so I can explain what happened because everyone has the facts wrong and you put wrong in big capital letters.
Okay.
That's what you said to me, verbatim.
I don't remember that, but I don't doubt it.
Okay, okay. And that's not a big deal. What I'm saying is that I was trying to give you a platform to let people know what happened from
Yeah.
your point of view. Okay. And
When
then,
I responded to that invitation, I may have said that. Yeah.
okay. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and let you off here and I'll tell you that, in the future, if you come up with more information that you want to share with everybody, reach out to me, let me know. We'll get you on here and we'll talk about it. I encourage you to, be as transparent as you possibly can be. Speak with a detective and be as transparent as you possibly can be because that's going to be all the more faster that we'll find her. I appreciate you coming on here and clarifying your, you know, your idea of the events that took place to the best of your recollection. Um, but work hard to what
Ricardo, what?
okay. There was a point here that I think Vicky was wanting to go. If she could come in for a minute and talk to you
Yeah.
and ask you a couple things, would you be all right with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me go grab her. Last I knew, she was putting the kiddos to sleep. So hold on just a second, okay? Kevin?
I was checking a message, text message.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Hold on just a second. Let me give her this.
I'm gonna go read that message real quick and I'll be back.
Okay. compiler. Let's see. Let me pull up this.
I'm back.
Okay. Just a second. I'm taking a picture of the code so I can send it to her so she can join us. Let me make sure she can play that. All right. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Charlene says she's not prepared to talk.
Who? There she is. She is, Charlene. I'm talking to her. All right, my lovely Vic, I sent you the code. Ow. We're just waiting for her to join. Some people crack me up so much. Some people crack me up so much in the comments. Yeah.
I wish I could be reading.
Huh?
I wish I could be reading the comments too, but I can't see them from where I'm
Some
at.
of them are funny. Some of them are funny. They're, you can tell who's just a troll and they're just in here for just to cause grief, and who's in here because they really care about what happened, and they want to hear your side of the story of what happened, and I mean that's what's important, right?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Vicky to join. Vicky! Let me make sure she got that. All right, let me see. Nicole, I just spoke to her when I sent her the code, and she said she was. Hi, Dawn. Yes, her name is Jacqueline Cary. She goes by Jackie. Ooh, what was that? Someone burning rubber?
A truck went by us at about 80 miles an hour.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Me too. Wait, let's see what she's got. Read after me. Oh. Okay, let me invite you again. Hold on. Hold on, let me give her this better picture here. Alright. That should be better.
Oh, yeah.
I have got such a fever. Okay, Vicky, I sent you a new photo of it so that you can see it better. Did I cut my finger? No, the picture I sent her was kind of fuzzy, and so she kept getting an error. So I just sent her a new picture of it that wasn't fuzzy. Hi, Karen. All right, she's trying to put it in. Remember, you put that in your browser, Vicky. Okay. She just said give her a minute. She's going to have to do it from her laptop. Because for some reason, it's not working on her phone. That's all right. We've been jacking around all night. We can give her a minute, huh?
Yeah, I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, I see. That's okay. You know, we're not, it's not like we have anywhere pressing to be right this minute. Go ahead and Jeanette, that will be soon, very soon. It's law enforcement who has requested no, not to right this minute. Jennifer, that's on the way. It's in the works. I got you, Charlie. I got you.
If Charlie has any questions to ask me, he can ask you.
Okay, Charlie, did you hear that? If you want to join in, you can join in too if you want to.
I heard that he wanted to ask, or wanted to be in there and ask him questions. I'm pretty good.
Well, there's some dynamics that are going on behind the scenes, Jeanette, that you're not aware of right now. And so that's the reason why. But as soon as that's able to be public, you know, we'll let you know. But we're trying to organize it behind the scenes.
That's the worst connecting over there.
Right. Well, because there's things, that goes on with these cases that you don't just, you don't go trampling around law enforcement's what they would consider, places of interest until they have. So, they're all getting their ducks in a row, and it'll be soon. No, I don't know what she's. I'm waiting on her. Charlie, do you want to? What does this say? It says that you're putting it in an email thing. You should just be going up to your regular browser, Vicky, at the top of your screen, like your Chrome browser or whatever, and just putting it in there. That's all you have to do. Because it's not an email that we're using. That's the direct code to live. Charlie, do you want it?
And if anybody wants, the family wants my phone number and they want to call me directly, they can also.
Okay. Y'all heard this? Oh, you behave, Charlie. Behave, Charlie. Okay. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second here, Kevin.
You can ask me questions.
Hello.
Hi, honey. Hey, I don't know what you're putting that in, what that page is that you're putting, that box that you're putting it in. Just put that code in. Huh?
That's supposed to be at the top.
Yeah, you should be going to your browser, like Chrome, and put it in your search bar.
I am so tired.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Take your time.
Okay, let's.
All right. Hold on, Kevin. She's pulling it all together. Yeah, Jennifer. I think the noise is probably like traffic or something in the background. I'm not sure what it is. Hello? Okay, there she is. All right. Everybody, let's welcome Vicky.
Hello.
Hi, love. How are you?
Good.
Are you okay? Are you hanging in there?
Yeah, it's just been a long day.
I know.
I've been
I
watching this
understand.
for a while.
Yeah. Me too. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go ahead. Kevin, can you see her and hear her?
Yes, again.
Okay. I'm going to let you two go ahead for a minute and talk, and I'm going to go to the restroom. Okay.
Okay. So thank you for coming on here. First and foremost, and trying to clarify some things. But there's just a couple of questions that I want to be able to give, like the detectives in LA and things like that. That would help better, like, find her if some stuff's been used. So, does she have any personal belongings with her? Any backpack? Any purse?
She had a shoulder bag with clothes and whatnot.
Okay. When you guys went to the hotel, did she use a card? Does she have a bank card?
I think she had that card, like a cash app card, I think. Or that's with online time. It is time.
So did she pay for the motel with a card, or did you?
So I paid cash.
Okay. They don't make you have a card for deposit at that motel?
I don't think so. If I'm the one that went up and got the room, so if I get the card, it would have been my cash app card or my Social Security credit card or something like that.
Okay.
She didn't pay for the room.
And you said you don't know Wade's last name?
I don't know Wade's last name.
But you said he lives on Ennis Street?
No, that's where I met him. At the bottom of Ennis Street at the radio site. We go down there and take our dogs down there and let them run around, and that's where we met.
So where does he live?
Gale's Edition.
Gale's Edition?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he has any relatives?
I'm not sure if he has any relatives here. He didn't mention.
Okay.
Oh, his brother. He lived with his brother. That's what. Pretty sure that's what it was.
Okay, and then this 477 number, you don't have to give me the whole number, but that's a number that you called for Jackie?
It was really weird because when first I tried to text it, and when I texted it, it said something about this not a wireless number.
So it's like, okay, that makes sense in a way.
So, and when I called it, yeah, you heard what I said. Didn't you, about the guy answering?
How did you get that phone number?
I got that number from Kathy last night.
And you called it last night?
Yes.
And that's when they said this last night.
Okay. What I want to get exactly what you asking. I want to make sure I'm telling you what you're asking.
So you said you called a 477 number that it was Jackie's number. Jackie had a 477 number.
That was the number that they told me that the voicemail came from that went to Corey Fanghauser's phone. That's what they told me.
My sister Kathy.
Yes. Kathy and Gary.
Okay. Scraper?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm waiting for a call back from Gary. Because I called and spoke to Tony earlier.
Okay. Yeah, Gary's got to have some kind of answer there.
And then when you guys got in your fight, I heard earlier that you took off, and when you came back after driving off the highway, you came back, you drove around and looked for her. Did you go in the McDonald's and see if she was in there?
I did. I parked up with the for just a short while. I parked up with the you can pull up there for your food. And I sat there for a while, and I'm pretty sure I went inside. I can't remember really if I did, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Did you ask anybody if they saw her? You know, where the one that was just screaming everywhere a minute ago?
No, I didn't. But by the time I went where I think the store was open, because when I went back the first time, the store was closed. The next day, when I went there, there wasn't been anybody there on shift.
Sorry, it's a little hard to hear you.
When I first went back, it was closed.
Okay.
Didn't go in or anything, and when it was closed. The second time I went back, I'm pretty sure that there would have been a shift change. There wouldn't have been anybody there that would have been there at 1:30 in the morning when they taken place.
Well, what I was wondering was if you asked somebody, and then you said, how long were you gone after you first got in the fight and screamed, and she screamed everything, and then you took off? How long was it until you came back, do you think?
I'd say drove down the road at first, and I came back almost immediately and drove by, and I didn't see her.
So like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Probably, something like that. And then, like, I hopped on the freeway, and I didn't want to leave. I didn't leave. I'm driving back and forth, and, I'm not seeing any police coming. And I'm trying to get a peek at the parking lot, and without drawing attention to the police if he had called. Later on, I think he mentioned that he had in a message or something. I can't remember, but I believe anyway.
Is the reason why you came back because she texted you and told you to come back? Is that when she said quit being stupid, come back?
Yes.
Okay. And then
the message said my phone's dead. It didn't say come back, but I took it as, come on, come back. This is stupid.
Say that again. It's kind of cutting out.
Yeah, I took it as when she said my phone's dead, quit being stupid. I took it as come on, come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it didn't say in the message to come back, but that's
Well, quit being
like,
stupid. Yeah, you just left her. She didn't come back.
yeah. And right about that same time, I think within 5 minutes, I got a voice call from her. She called me, and basically they could be a student back or something like that. And I said, why? So you can have the police there waiting for me. And she said some smart ass comments. And at that time, that was all of the communications we had. But there one more time, I texted.
When was the last time you talked to her?
Would be the day that I was leaving California. The next day, that evening or something.
So what date was that?
It would be the 29th, I believe.
That you're leaving?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the last time she texted you after you saw her?
Yeah, we had a brief text exchange. I think I tried dialing the number or something like that, and she didn't answer. I got a text that said she had communicated, but by the text and by phone text and through this. At that time, I think it might have been the messenger, and she said, I think that's what she said. I'm gonna come back with a better plug.
Okay, what does she mean? I'm gonna come back? Like she's gonna come back to the McDonald's?
No, this to town. Come back with a better plug. Is what she said.
So she told you she was staying there? That's what that meant to you? That she's gonna come back all the way to Washington?
Yeah, I assume she was going to come back to Washington. She said, I'm coming back.
Did you ask her how? Like, how are you gonna even get back? That's 1,100 miles away.
No, she told me she met some friends, and she was something about traveling down 101, down 101. So, well, I took that as south. Not sure what it meant. I don't think, but she said other stuff,
So where were you? Were you still in California when she sent you this message?
I'm pretty sure I was still in California because Wade, I talked to Wade about the same time, and he said his bus was being held up. He was supposed to be in California because he didn't have an ID on him. They wanted to check an ID. So yeah, he didn't have an ID on him. So I knew I was still in California because he was still in California and stuff.
Okay. So my next question with that is, what's your relationship with your sister?
So we've known each other for a long time. We've had brief sexual relationships further back in the past, and I talked to her. So we both had problems with relationships, and that's why don't we just kind of make go of it, and see.
So were you guys dating then?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I be honest and kind of frank with you?
You can.
So if she's your girlfriend and it's less than eight hours, not even 8 hours. I don't know what the timeline is. It's less than 24 hours. You're 1,100 miles away with your girlfriend. Who, if she's your girlfriend, you know she freaked out. She's done it before while you're at home. And she does it on this trip, and you guys get separated. You don't see your girlfriend again. The next message you get from her saying she's someone else, and you don't make sure she's safe, and you just take it like that and drive home without making sure she's okay. And that didn't concern you?
It did concern me,
So,
but you wouldn't have a normal conversation with me. She just say,
how hard did you try?
I'd call her. And
Okay.
the phone, but she would just say something to me on a text message.
So there was no reason for you to think that she was not safe.
At that time, no, not at all. She,
So you thought she was just fine. She's gonna make it home just fine.
you know, I know Jackie. She's a tough little cookie, and she was resourceful, and I had no doubt in my mind that she would make it back to town.
Okay. Do you know the area where you left her?
What?
Do you know the area where you left her?
I know exactly the McDonald's that she got out of my car.
Okay, and what time of day or night was she left there when you last saw her when you guys got your fight?
It was like right after midnight.
Okay. So a lot of people have been telling me that it's a very high drug crime area. So if this is your girlfriend and you know she's in a very high drug crime area, she's 5'2", 115 pounds, she's gone, and you don't know where she is, and you're telling me that she's gonna be just fine. You're much larger, and she's probably protected by you in a place like this. But you're gonna say that she's probably just fine in a whole new place that she's never been, in a dangerous area. That's what I don't understand when you say that you care about somebody. You care somebody and their safety is your concern, but that's common sense. Does that sound reasonable to you? I don't understand how you think that sounds okay and that you would care and love somebody. If I got in a fight with my boyfriend and I stormed off and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm with John down the street," he's gonna say, "You're acting crazy. I'm not leaving until you get back in this car."
What she was saying really concerned me. That she was gonna try to get me thrown in jail.
How?
How was she going to get thrown in jail? Because
Yeah.
I had drugs on me. And she said, "You're not going to make it back to Port Angeles."
It says my battery's unplugged. Oh no.
I said, "I'm calling control. I'm calling, and
It's cutting out a little bit.
she said, "I'm not going to make it back to Port Angeles. I'm calling control and authorities, and you're gonna get pulled over. You're gonna track. When you're answering this message, they're gonna be pinging your phone, and she was gonna throw in jail."
So she was trying to say she was going to turn you in, and the cops are going to be looking for you because you had drugs on you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, what I'm saying. She said, I'm gonna go. That's on you. I'm gonna.
Okay. Can I ask you another question? any at any point that you were concerned when you hadn't heard from her since you left her?
Of course,
Since she was left down there? Because I reported her missing. I didn't hear anything from you. I heard nada. I didn't hear anything from you until I called the sheriff's office and they came knocking at your door because of me.
Yeah.
So explain that one to me.
Like I said, she told me that she had met somebody, and I believed her,
Okay.
and she, it sounded like she was just fine and having a good time. Exactly.
Wait, the last time you talked to your girlfriend for over a month?
She told me she was another man and had been having sex for 3 hours.
Okay. She pissed off. You know how many messed up shit I say? Sorry, messed up stuff I say when I'm mad? Like, you've gotten in a fight with her before, right?
Yeah.
And she wigs out because I know it because she's my sister.
Yeah.
So all of her behavior on this trip is not uncommon. She can be crazy.
When she started threatening to just see, I think she had been planning this because she grabbed the fuel money. She'd been planning to get out of my car.
She what?
I think she had been planning because she took the fuel money that we were going to use to jump home.
So you don't think that was just in the spur of the moment? She's pissed off. You didn't share with her, so she's taking your money?
That was kept in the trunk of the car. It couldn't have been spur of the moment. She had been interviewed with me because Rosie had called me a few times.
What?
Rosie had called me a few times, and she was super jealous, so you know that. And she was upset with Rosie. I believe that is when the plan to separate me started forming. Because for the moment, got into where the money was. I had the money stashed in the trunk, so nobody would steal it or we would get robbed.
Okay. But my question is, why, did you ever think anything was wrong? That she wasn't okay or that she needed to be reported missing?
I started to think that, yes. After a while, because
What's a while?
I've been trying to call her phone.
I know, but what's a while? Like, when did you start freaking out?
If you want me to go and look at the text message where I asked you a question. Even though
Were you what?
I was starting to ask you questions like, what's my dog's name? Because
you started texting that to her?
Yes, I was asking her, what's my dog's name? What's my brother's dog's name?
When?
Because I can tell you exactly. Hold on for a second. I'll go look.
Okay. I'm shaking. was a what?
September 6th.
So it was a week after you left her that you were asking her to verify what your dog's name was?
Yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. But things that she intended to me, the impression that she was okay, she was with somebody, somebody she said she was having sex with.
Okay, but you didn't hear anything since then. And then did she say anything after you said verify my dog's name?
No.
May I interject for a minute?
And you didn't report her missing then? Or let anybody know? Did you vent to anybody? Did you vent to anybody about the trip?
Well, of course not. I talked to several people.
And you didn't report her missing when you were worried over a month ago?
You know, normally, I watch a lot of crime TV and stuff like that. And normally when an adult chooses to go somewhere, they really don't start to look at them. You know what I mean? For some time. When they say, okay, they took off with a man, and it has only been a week.
Okay, if I could interject for a minute, please. Kevin, let me ask you real quick. If you were concerned that she was being sex trafficked, as you thought she was, and you said that you were sending these messages to her asking for the name of your dog because she's the only, and I've seen some of those messages, okay? And you talked about, you're taking too long to answer, you're torturing her, whatever.
Before you go on, at that point on the 6th, I did not think anything about sex trafficking.
But that she was in jeopardy, or that she was unsafe.
It was later on after that I started to get concerned.
Okay, so if you were worried that somebody, what I'm trying to get at is if you were worried that somebody had her enough to the point where you would use a code and say, tell me the name of my dog, why wouldn't you tell the police? I think that's what Vicky's trying to get at. She doesn't understand.
I understand that. And in hindsight, absolutely, I fucked up. Absolutely. I'm sorry that I fucked up, I don't want you to be talking. I don't want you to be I want her to be hurt. Yeah, I fucked up,
Yeah. Well, let me just I'm going to be a little candid here for a second, okay? And just shoot straight with me, all right, Kevin?
I've been shooting straight with you the whole time.
Okay. I haven't said that you're not. She didn't know D, did she?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
The videotape from that McDonald's is gonna show exactly word for word exactly what I just told you guys. Yeah, I fucked up and maybe waited too long to get concerned.
It's not maybe.
The incident right there will be recorded and it can be on video. And it'll be on video that I came back looking for her. My car will be going by. Looking in the parking lot.
Okay, I understand that you did that, but there's still a whole more than 30-day gap of even letting anybody know that possibly something is wrong and she needs to be go look for. And this is where the last time I tried to look for her, and now you're all in a hurry to go there when you had 30 days to figure it out before anyone.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
And in my opinion, the only reason you even picked up at all, this is just my opinion, but I feel like the only reason you came forward is because it was brought to your attention by someone else. You didn't come forward. So you just were silent. And now it's you cared about her so much, and it just seems like a crock of crap.
Okay, yeah. I can see where that could seem like that.
Okay. That's where my frustration comes from. Because if I love somebody, and if I'm their protector, which you are her protector, you're much larger. And if I'm someone's protector, I'm not going to leave them somewhere. And then if I'm worried about them a week later, I'm going to get them help in some way. I'm just going to ignore it and go to a casino because is that where you went?
When I went back to Washington, I stopped at my friend's. He asked me if I want to go to the casino, and yes, I went to a casino in Washington.
Okay. That's why I'm frustrated. I hope you can see. It seems like you understand why exactly myself and anyone else would be upset with that. Is there anybody on this trip that you met at a hotel, outside that McDonald's, that stay there, the homeless population, anyone that could help us that you can think of?
And Wade, bringing forward Wade would be good.
There is a couple people that, but I can't tell you their names because, they're among the homeless population. That's why I was.
Can you say where? Like where?
Leaving.
Like where were these people at? Like specifically, if you can remember them.
One guy talked about that he had a little gig where he was making money, grabbing carts back and forth for people. I don't remember his name, but I believe he did that 90-cent toy store probably every day doing.
Kevin, when you were messaging Jackie after you were gone, what phone were you messaging her on?
The phone that has the Mikey thing recording on it.
Why? Why wouldn't you message her on her phone?
Because that is the phone she was using. That's why.
When did she start using that phone?
She was using that phone the whole trip.
But prior to that, she never used it?
She was using that phone before we left.
Okay. So, just help me understand this real quick. Because you're the only one that knows the answers to this stuff. So, your girlfriend gets a new phone number with some guy named Mikey on the phone. You're not like, hey, where'd you get that phone from? What's up? You know what I mean?
My girlfriend, before we left on the trip, she had the phone with her.
Okay.
She had a couple different phones. She
I
probably
would
had
encourage anybody. I would encourage anybody who had any kind of contact with her prior to this trip to please reach out to me, because I would like to know what phone she was using and when she started using that other phone.
I don't know why that's important, but that's the phone she was using.
Oh, it's very important because she had her own phone, and that's the phone that she communicates with everybody on.
How many phones did she have with her?
I see at least two.
Okay. And that could have been maybe that 477 number that called my sister.
I don't think so because I don't think anybody called. I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that, but I don't remember the 477 prefix before it was told to me by Gary. He texted me after
I can't.
Kathy.
Well, I have my sister's number, so I can call her. If not tonight, I'll call her tomorrow and say, record that for me and send it. You know, I can get it quick. But
Right. And Charlie, you're right. That is the number she's always used. Charlie's posted her number that she's had for years, that he contacts her on and everybody else on. This other phone, you said she had it before she left on the trip. Somebody else says that you said that she picked it up along the way.
Well, she picked it up from somebody probably. She's the phone.
okay, so she snatched it from.
Somebody could have given it. I don't know.
Has anybody? We have quite a few people in here right now. Most of you that know Jackie, if you have ever heard from her off of a different phone other than the one that Charlie has posted in the comments, please private message me. I would like to see that proof that you spoke to her from a different phone. Not you, Kevin. Other people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and also you commented about a bar. Do you have the name of that bar that she went back to a couple times?
She went to this bar when I lost her the first time because they were at the dollar store. Her and Wade were at the dollar store, and I had to go get some fuel, and I think get some groceries, and that dollar store again. It took me probably 6 hours to find where they were at.
And you didn't find it. Sorry.
They didn't have a phone that was charged, so I was trying to get back to them, and I could and it took me, probably 6 hours, maybe longer. And during that time, she went into this bar and was trying to hustle guys that were in there. Wade didn't go in. I think he went into the bar with her and left because he didn't want to be involved in what she was trying to do or something. I don't know. He was standing outside.
Was she trying to hustle for drinks or money?
Money, probably, yeah.
Wait, when did the whole bar thing happen?
We were at the dollar store. Her and Wade stayed there to do some shopping while I went to go do something else. And when I get back, I went to go back, I could not find that dollar store. I couldn't remember what road it was on. And looking in Google, there's dollar stores everywhere. Then I started cross-referencing dollar stores that are by Chase Bank. And believe it or not, there was a bunch of those too. It took me a long time to find them. I think eventually they got one of the phones charged, and just got a hold of me, and that's how I was able to find where they were at.
Why would
During
she
that
be?
time,
Why would she be at a bar though? Jackie didn't drink.
Sometimes.
Jackie, I don't think she was drinking then. I think she went there to try to hustle something.
Does she normally do that?
That hustle people? Absolutely.
She just go into places and where she's never been and go try to hustle money from people?
I never seen her do it in a bar, but she would meet people and talk to the judge.
But that's
This is a lot of stuff that you guys did in such a short amount of time. How is that possible?
Well,
I mean, so far now, because this is the first I'm hearing about the bar. So far now, we've gone to the beach, we've gone to a couple of hotels, we went to the 99 cent store, we went to a bar, we went
and we
to.
pretty much stayed up almost 24 hours a day, you know.
Okay, I get it, yeah, but still, I mean, stores are only open for so long. There's only so many hours in a day, even if you're wide awake for all of them.
Well, I'm not sure what you're getting at. You obviously you're calling me a liar because you don't think we could have done all that.
I'm trying to figure out how you guys accomplished all of this stuff in a short amount of time, as you're saying. So is the timeline incorrect, or
Timeline, like that. No, I didn't manipulate Google. I didn't hack into Google and manipulate my timeline. GPS or satellites are, you know, up in the sky, you know.
how. Can I ask you a question? So, how did you handle my sister when she was freaking out and making all these scenes and everything else with your friend Wade and all this stuff?
I would just step back. When she was fighting with Wade, I would just pretend like it wasn't even happening. I didn't want to try to tell her to mellow out because it would be directed towards me. So I would just, you know, this ain't happening. Wade, that's your problem.
So you'd stay cool and level-headed every time she was all crazy. You never got crazy back with her.
No.
You wouldn't. You'd say you're a level-headed guy.
Yeah, I'm a what?
Pretty level-headed guy.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Kevin, have you ever been in a situation like this before, where you've gone with other women to different states and to pick up drugs? Or
I've never traveled to another state with a woman that I can think of, or been on a vacation with another woman.
okay,
Really never traveling more than 100 miles or something with a love interest or something, you know what I mean?
okay, all right. So do you know the name of the bar that she was at?
It would be really close. It was a Mexican bar, it had a Mexican name, and it was really close to the dollar store on Balboa or whatever that was. That's the only thing I could direct towards that bar.
And do you know what day that was? First day, second day, or the day that you were there?
I believe it was the first or second day. I would have to go back and look at my timeline.
Is it on the timeline that Tracy has?
It'll be on one of those maps that I gave her.
First or second day. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
My timeline because I didn't go to the bar.
And you said that Jackie got a hold of you, or Wade got a hold of you and said, "Hey, we're at this bar."
No, they didn't pick me up at the bar. I heard about the bar after I picked them up.
And where did you pick him up at?
Where I'm not sure they directed me towards where they were at. Wade was from that area. He knows that area.
Okay.
5 or 6 years, I think he said, but he's from that area specifically.
And was this bars in Pacoima or what city?
Closer around towards the Panorama Mall or the 99-cent store. But like the timeline's going to show you exactly where the dollar store was, and the bar was what had to have been because they were on foot. And they didn't go. They didn't steer too far away from the dollar store because they knew I was coming back.
Okay, so the bar is not too far from the dollar store. You can walk right in the area.
I think so. That's just what I'm assuming. I didn't get too close to the bar when we were going by on a road or something. I think Jackie said, "Oh, there's a bar right over there," and she wanted to go back to the bar, and I was like, "Nah, we better not do that." She wanted to go back and try to scam these guys that were flirting with her. I was like, "No."
Was that the night you stayed in the motel, or were you going back and forth from McDonald's?
I'm not sure. I think no. The Casino Wade. I don't think. Now that I think of it, I don't think Wade stayed with us when we stayed the night at the McDonald's.
At McDonald's, Wade wasn't with you?
No, I don't think he stayed with us. I could be wrong. I'm really not sure.
So you don't think he stayed with you at McDonald's?
No, when we stayed at McDonald's, I don't think he slept there with us.
So you think he already caught the bus?
So I was smoking dental powder, and my memory's not that good.
Right.
Trip, be honest.
I know. That's why I'm just trying to clarify, because I need as much information as law enforcement down there to check the cameras, surveillances, talk to locals. Like, all of this information is very vital. I'm trying to get as detailed as I can.
I understand.
How many nights did you stay down there?
I think for 4 or 5 nights.
Okay. And was there
in my mind? It feels like we were there a month. I really don't know why. I mean, it's weird. It's kind of hard for me to get the time I get on you. In my mind, it felt like a month or more. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Did you only stay one night at a motel?
Yes, we only stayed one night inside the motel.
Will you say that again? Sorry.
Only one night did we stay inside a motel.
Okay, and were the other 3 nights at McDonald's?
No, I don't think so. There was a time we pulled up early morning motel and we slept in the car. I think Wade was dead. I'm just not sure. But like I said, in my timeline, I can go look.
Oh, you can look at the places that you stayed the other nights.
Yeah, I can. And I would know, that's where we're at.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Well, and another thing too, because I'm from Cali myself, and the Grapevine has cameras all along it because of the trucks that jackknifed and so forth in the snow. So we'll be able to get some idea too by looking at the cameras of when you came, when you went back over the, you know what I mean? And that'll help out too. So that'll help better with the timeline. We'll be able to see when you came down. We'll be able to see, because you said there was a time that you guys went back, but then you turned around, left, and went back to LA, right?
The first time going over, I remember I was driving, and I went by a state patrol at 95 miles an hour, and he didn't try to come after me, which was kind of. But everybody else was going pretty fast too.
It was what? I'm sorry.
Everybody else was going pretty fast too.
Yeah. But they have cameras all along there because of the steep incline of the mountains on both sides, and the curviness going through the mountains. There's a lot of cameras along the I-5 and the Grapevine for that reason. So what I'm saying is that'll help us with the timeline, because you're telling us you went over it when you got there, and then you went back over it
Partway.
Yeah, partway, but it's still going to pick you up, and then you guys came back to LA, and then you went over it by yourself. So we'll be able to see that. So that'll be helpful. Yeah. So that's why we're trying to nail down specifics of different things that are taking place.
Yeah, you want to nail me down to a certain story in case something changes. I understand that.
Well, no, it's not even just that. It's that you're the one who was with her. So I mean, we only know what you tell us. So
I want to
do what?
I want to help too.
Okay. That's great. I mean, you're doing great by starting with this. Go ahead,
Did you use like a food card at all? Like, how'd you guys eat?
We both had a food card.
Did she use it along this trip?
Yeah, I remember it got used at the 99-cent only store. That's the only times I have a specific memory of it being used. Okay. It was at the Panorama Mall. I think it's called Panorama Mall.
Okay. And that's the last time that that she used it?
That's the only time I remember it being used specifically.
Charlene Polkoima.
Jackie could go in a store and, come out and,
She what?
Okay, so she did use her card?
Huh?
She did use her card.
Oh yeah, the card did have some food nearby, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's good. That helps a lot.
I know the Panorama, the reason I know that for sure is because she sent me into the store to get something to drink or snack or something like that with her card.
At the Panorama Mall?
Yeah.
All right. Panorama City.
And then I didn't get it earlier. What day did you guys go to the pier?
Go to the Panorama Mall? Here.
No, what? Yeah.
The 27th. I think 26th, maybe. I wasn't keeping track of dates, something like that.
You what?
I wasn't keeping track of dates for which days.
Okay. And then do you just posted another picture of her that we have pictures of her on your phone?
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
What's that?
Can you repeat that? You're breaking it up. Hear you?
I said you posted a new picture of her today that nobody has seen. Do you have other pictures of her?
Yes, I do.
Is there any way to share those? Because it's very vital that we have the most up-to-date pictures of her.
Which picture are you talking about that I shared today? Or?
The one you posted today. Of it, it's at the beach, but it's one that we haven't seen.
The one where I'm standing behind her. You're trying to get us in the selfie picture? Yeah.
Right. So do you have more pictures that we can use of her?
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because that could help too, because that could show places or.
I have a picture of her in sort of the Welcome to California sign.
Okay. That would be useful.
Some good pictures. And then, you can tell which one she selfied at the beach, and all the other ones where she's running out into the water and, running back. And I think I might have did some sort of videos of her, in the water. Obviously, I'm the one that took those because,
And those all got taken on your phone?
we used my phone because my phone took a lot better pictures.
Got it.
Then she took them to her phone.
Okay. Do you know what kind of phone she had? Like what carrier, what make, what type of phone it was?
I don't know. Assuming it was an Obama phone.
Okay.
That's what Heather remembers her having the Obama phone.
So she had it before she left?
Yes. Heather's right if you want to ask her any questions.
Okay. I've heard her. Pictures. So, yeah, those pictures would be helpful because we need clothing description. Do you know what she was wearing last time you saw her? Anything at all?
Yeah, because maybe she may have had, those clothes on in those pictures. She might have had those clothes on when she left, or
like leggings or short shorts. Pretty much what she liked to wear.
And that's what she had a majority on when she was there was blue jean shorts?
Yeah, she just had leggings and all of her clothes were pretty much that. You know what I mean? Her bottom, she had a bikini. She wore the beach.
Right, in the pictures. Was she still wearing that or was she wearing a shirt?
She wasn't wearing a bikini. I think she had like a faux leather jacket type of thing.
You said like a fake feather or fake faux jacket?
That's a faux leather, fake leather.
Yeah. Do you remember if it was dark colored or light colored?
Black.
Okay. And she did have her backpack with her or a shoulder bag?
Yeah, she had she always kept a bag in the car at the beach, like a shoulder bag, large size shoulder bag that stayed right in her time.
Okay. Was there anything left in your car of hers?
Yes, there was like a duffel bag, a small duffel bag that had dirty clothes.
Okay.
Can you get that for the family?
If I can still have it. We've been going through a lot of stuff in my house, you know.
Oh, wait. You got rid of it?
Hello?
I think we lost him.
Possibly.
Oh,
Hello?
wait a minute.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Hello? I'm back. I hit a button or something. If I'm not right on this StreamYard thing, yeah, I can't hear it. But I need to get off the fix it. What I was saying was, the women, they come to my house for some reason. They're always stealing each other's stuff. It's like a contest between them. You know, so if it was a bag was hanging around, Jackie, then you know, somebody might have grabbed some stuff. In my house is, you know.
Could you, when you disposed of Jackie's stuff in her duffel bag,
I dispose of the stuff. Did you do like that, or?
you were what?
I did not dispose of any of Jackie's stuff.
So you have her stuff then?
I don't know. What I was saying was that the women, for some reason, come over to, they're in this like a contest, and they steal all their clothes and each other's stuff, and you know, and it's possible that somebody may have stolen something
So
out of her
women,
bag.
so girls come over to your house and steal stuff.
Yeah, they steal stuff all the time, all day, every day.
Do you know if any of her identification was in there? Anything to tell us if she has everything she needs?
That would be in the bag she keeps real close to her.
Okay.
Anything she holds of value, she keeps right next to her. She got in the habit of doing that because of the way the women steal their stuff back and forth all the time. Her and Heather's made all
Right.
stealing to it.
They're gonna jack your stuff. You gotta keep it close. I get it.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know if I have any more questions. I think that gave us a lot to go with. Like if we get those pictures will be helpful, so that at least we can update a missing person poster, so we can have the clothes she was wearing. Surveillance will be easier to spot her.
Anything you need at any time, yes, I'll try to help you.
Can you, would you?
Well, the detectives would need that. I don't even need it. If you could send it directly to the detectives.
Pictures?
I mean, I need it too, actually, but
I can imagine you want pictures of her, you know.
right. Well, and it helps making a poster and an updated flyer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And could you look for us too, Kevin, when you get home, just to make sure none of her stuff is still there?
Right, because if there's any of those clothes,
We
then
can start eliminating clothes from the pictures.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we can have some kind of idea of like, okay, well, she didn't have the jacket on when she left because it's in the duffel bag at Kevin's house. So it'll help us start eliminating.
That's a great idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. What else do you think?
I mean the name of that bar would be useful.
I had to look on the Google timeline and bars right there. You know what I mean? If there's only one Mexican bar semi close to there, that would probably be the one.
Okay. And then we just need to talk. I don't know how Wade's memory is, but it would probably be useful to talk to Wade because he might remember more details than you do. You know, you got somebody else able to give details.
And he was at the bar with her.
Especially if you spent, 6 hours with her and you weren't there, he might know something you don't. So it's really important that we talk to him too.
Kevin, let me ask you real quick. If she stole your money, how did you get back?
I called family and friends and got some money.
They wired you money?
Yeah, a couple different times. It's my Cash App.
Okay.
And they wired it because you told them Jackie stole your money?
What's that?
And they wired it to you because you told them Jackie stole your money?
They wired it to me because I didn't have money to get home. And that's what happened. Jackie took it.
Okay. I was just saying, did you tell him I have no money because Jackie stole it from me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's a lot to go on, so I am kind of done.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have any more questions right now.
Yeah, and the door is swinging both ways. If we need to do one of these at a later time, you guys, that's more than okay. I think you gave us a lot of information.
I have to get behind the wheel right now, too, because Heather's,
I'm lost.
she's lost and she's tired.
Okay, that's no problem. Thank you for at least getting on here and telling us and giving us your information. Is you're the only one that knows, so we appreciate that. Okay.
My God! Oh my God!
I just feel the sweat on my knee. All right. But yeah, anything you guys want or need from me, I'll do my best.
Yeah, we just need those photos would help.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin.
Yep.
All right. Have a safe trip. And we will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I need to go to bed.
Okay. I'll call you.
That was a lot. All right.
Yeah. All right. I'll call you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us tonight. And as always, I want to say, remember to be kind to everybody who crosses your path because you never know what's working in their life for the day. Everybody at ASA Smiles loves you and considers you our ASA allies. Thank you so much. And remember to always smile because it's contagious. We love you. Good night. Thanks, guys.
I don't know how to get. Oh.